I relived the day I confessed my love to Truck Ma amidst cheers. Around me, he looked at me, his eyes red and swollen from crying, and coldly asked, "Is Lam Noyet happy to attract attention?" Then he turned to look at the bright moonlight beside him with gentle eyes. "Wait a minute, I'll come find you after it's resolved," he annoyingly lectured me. "Why do you like to cry so much? If you have time, read more books, don't just think about love all day long." I was annoyed, pushed him away, and rushed into the person standing behind, the guy from the same school who was watching a comedy show. "Husband," I hugged the person in my arms, sobbing without a sound. At 18 years old, Kai Tram is still alive, everything is still on time. Before he passed away, Kai Tram held my hand, hooked it, and made me promise to live to be 100 years old before I could find him. I agreed. Yet, as soon as I turned away, I deceived him. 3 days later, I went looking for him. Before I closed my eyes, I even gave myself a reason. "After meeting you, I will tell you that I dreamed of you down there flirting with other female ghosts." Actually, I didn't dream at all. Without you, I couldn't sleep at all. When I opened my eyes again, I discovered I was back when I was 18 years old. I held a bouquet of flowers. The cheers and cheers around me were endless. "Confess your love, confess your love." The crowd jostled, but my first sight caught sight of bright blonde hair in a dark corner. He stood there, where no one noticed, his eyes wandering vaguely over me, both indifferently and deliberately. I looked at him. My tears immediately became uncontrollable. Just as I was about to open my mouth, Tam Dat's voice rang out. "Is Lam Noyet happy to attract attention?" In a moment, I realized who was standing in front of me. His eyebrows were slightly furrowed, his expression was cold, and the lively atmosphere suddenly stopped. Until Hua Tin broke the awkwardness. "Tam Dat needs to confirm his acceptance speech." Tam Dat tilted his head to look at her. "Wait for me. I'll come find you after it's resolved." Rarely gentle eyes. Hua Tin is a great student like Tam Dat. Some people once joked that the two of them are a match made in heaven, a great student and a God student. Hua Tin just nonchalantly replied, "I'm not the type of girl whose only mind is love." At that time, Tam Dat's eyes looked at her with rare appreciation. He also told me that he doesn't like the type of girl who only has love in her head. But that year, I was that kind of girl, with only him on my mind. I even had the illusion that if I confessed on his birthday, he wouldn't embarrass me. Only later did I understand that what he hated most was being bound by my morality, just like this moment. He took the bouquet of flowers in my hand, somewhat impatiently. "If you have time, read a lot of books. Don't think about love all day long," he said. I was stunned. The crowd around me started whispering. "Look, Lam Noyet is already crying. She has been pursuing Tam Dat for so many years, and the result has turned from a beauty to a joke." The two of me even felt embarrassed for her. In my previous life, I actually sobbed because of humiliation. But right now, in my eyes, there is only the blonde person in that hidden corner. I looked at him intently, my mouth slightly open, but my trembling voice could not come out. Tears just kept flowing. Looking at me like that, Tam Dat frowned and sighed. "Lam Noyet, why do you like to cry so much?" I felt annoyed. He kept talking and even obscured my vision. I forcefully pushed Tam Dat away and rushed straight towards the person I thought I had lost forever. Husband, it's great that you're alive." "Ho-ho." His chest was warm, the familiar scent of sunshine. I hugged him, crying without a sound. "The person's heart is stiff." "No, you got the wrong person, right?" His face was red up to his ears. "Lam Noyetta, who are you calling husband?" Tam Dat's voice rang out from behind, carrying some anger. "How many more times are you going to use it?" In my previous life, to make Tam Dat jealous, I deliberately became close to other male students many times. He would be angry, but then he would arbitrarily comfort me with a few words. Only this time, the target was the person he despised the most, a brat. I hugged Kai Tram tightly and cried even harder. "Husband, you're really alive, I can't believe it." The hand slid into his shirt, urgently checking to see if there was a fatal wound in his chest from his previous life. Kai Tram was so intimidated by my actions that she was not light. "What are you doing?" I sobbed and replied. "Take off your shirt so I can take a look." His face immediately turned red. "I'm a decent person. Don't do anything wrong." I cried even harder. "Husband, I have to watch. I beg you, just let me watch for a little while." He was confused, not knowing where to put his hands. In the end, he could only helplessly say in a low voice, "Okay, wait. Can we wait until there's no one else left?" Looking at this scene, Tamdat's eyes clearly showed disgust. Lam Noyet commune. Don't you feel embarrassed in front of everyone like that? This time, I won't comfort you anymore. Having finished speaking, he turned and left. The surrounding crowd also quietly dispersed. "Miss, you're done acting. You still don't want to let go." The voice came from above, carrying a bit of mockery. I just shook my head, hugged his neck tightly, cried until he sobbed, and didn't let go. I won't let go for the rest of my life. Lam Noyet commune. 18 years old. No broken legs, no depression. Kai Tram, 18 years old, has never blocked a knife because of her. Everything is still on time. Kai Tram couldn't believe it and threatened. "Then I'll go out." He carried me outside the classroom. As soon as he went out, the homeroom teacher's voice rang out. "Hey, Kai Tram, don't worry about practicing. Are you still hugging your female friend to act like a hooligan?" I still hugged him tightly and didn't let go. Seeing that I didn't react, Kai Tram blushed and tried to explain. "Report to the teacher. The girl has a broken leg. I'll carry her down to the medical room." The homeroom teacher's voice was less strict. This boy also has a bit of humanity. Suddenly remembering her past life, Kai Tram was the same. My baby went everywhere to have his feet examined and patiently accompanied each physical therapy session. When everyone was gone, he looked at me, his face full of helplessness. "Miss, what are you doing?" I still refused to let go of his neck. "Husband." He listened with all his might, gritted his teeth, and said, "Don't call me husband." "Who is your husband?" "You're my husband," I said angrily, pouting in a low voice. "My dear husband, I like you the most in the world." Kai Tram seemed about to explode, lowering her voice to remind. "Miss, do you remember who threw my love letter yesterday?" I immediately stiffened. It's really an inappropriate time. Kai Tram once confessed his love to me, but at that time I coldly trampled the letter under my foot and said that I hated the type who only knew how to use his muscles and had no brains like him. Thinking back, I myself am just a flexible dance student, but my mind is no better than anyone else's. Actually, I don't hate Kai Tram that much. Because Tamdat hates you. That's why I hate you. Tamdat hates all idiots, especially people like Kai Tram, who study poorly and are still arrogant in school. I blinked, trying to appear sincere, and explained, "What happened yesterday? I actually just wanted to test your feelings." Then I assured, "Husband, from now on I only like you." Depression jerks and stagnates. "Can you stop calling me husband?" I shook my head firmly. "No way." He gritted his teeth and finally sighed in defeat. "Well, call whatever you want." Look at me hugging his neck like a bear, yelling at him. Sigh. "But hey, Lam Noyet commune, you're a human, not a monkey. Is it possible to climb down from me?" I laughed. "But I want to hug you a little longer, my dear husband." His throat moved slightly, his ears turned red. 18 years old, so cute and innocently cool. Kai Tram turned around and hugged me to his Mr. High's house. The old man was sitting at the entrance of the alley telling people's fortunes. Every day is magical and mysterious. "Grandpa, she seems to have been hit by T." Mr. High stroked his beard and glanced at me. Those bloodshot eyes are definitely being followed by something." As he spoke, he pulled out a piece of yellow paper and gave it to me. "Bring this talisman with you to protect me from misfortune." Kai Tram placed me outside the door and instructed, "Wait for me a moment. Don't follow me. I will be right back." But I didn't listen and secretly followed him outside the door. I just heard him lower his voice and ask him, "I want to ask if there is any talisman that will keep her in this state forever?" In my heart, I was secretly happy. Okay. I knew right away. I had already gone crazy because of you and crashed my head into the wall because of you. Kai Tram, in this life, let me run towards you. I live in the Tam family. The two families have had a relationship since childhood and have already arranged a marriage contract. When I was 10 years old, my parents died in an accident. Tamdat held my hand tightly. "Kuda, you still have me. I will always be by your side." I moved into the Tam family. His parents treated me very well. I studied dancing from a young age. His mother invited me to the best teachers. My wardrobe is full of beautiful clothes bought for me by Uncle Tam. But no matter how good I am not their child. They originally saw me as their future daughter-in-law. Until I broke my leg and couldn't walk normally, They began to feel that such a daughter-in-law could not stand up. They told me, Tuda, I always consider you as my own daughter. Tudet only considers you as my biological sister. Don't worry, I will definitely find you a good husband. At the dining table, Tam's parents served me food and asked about my studies. Recalling their words from my previous life, I just find them ridiculous. I put down the bowl and chopsticks. Uncle, Aunt, I want to stay in the school dormitory. That way I can focus on studying more. I also know you're not good at culture. They were a bit surprised. The school dormitory has such poor conditions. How can I live? Tuda, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Tudat studies well. Let him tutor you. I calmly shook my head. No need. He's busy with competitions these days. I don't want to bother him. Aunt Tam seemed to realize something. Are you two arguing? Tamdat said nothing. I just laughed. No, he treats me very well. I always consider him like my own brother. I continue. In the future, he will definitely find an excellent girl like him to be his uncle's daughter-in-law. Tamdat's eyes stopped and looked at me. I wasn't in the mood to eat or drink, so I stood up and went back to the bedroom. But even lying in bed, the familiar feeling of sleepless nights from my previous life came rushing back. At that time, my depression was very severe. Every day, I had to rely on sleeping pills to be able to sleep. It wasn't until I was with Kai Tram that I gradually healed. People with insomnia always feel anxious and uncomfortable. I decisively stood up and went to the living room to pour a glass of water. Unexpectedly, I met Tamdat there. Eat some. I don't think you can eat much tonight. He brought my favorite bowl of chicken wontons and placed them in front of me. Are you still angry about what happened during the day? He squatted in front of me, sighing helplessly. I'm just angry because you're already in 12th grade and not focusing on your studies. Seeing that I didn't say anything, he reached out and patted my head. Okay, don't be angry anymore. He smiled gently and helplessly. You idiot. He's always been like that. When I feel sorry for myself, he will gently say a few words of comfort. And I was so stupid, I kept forgiving him over and over again, deceiving myself that he liked me because he treated me gently, doing little things that seemed like he really cared. Seeing that I was still silent, he gently stroked my hair again, his tone full of affection. Tell me, will our future child be as stupid as you? In his previous life, he also said this. At that time, I was deeply touched, thinking that he had dreamed about our future. But I didn't expect that it was just idle talk. After he and Hua Tin received the award, a certain professor once exclaimed, if these two people get together in the future, they will definitely have very smart children. He never thought about marrying me or having children with me. He's just worried that being with me will affect the intelligence of the next generation. I smirked and looked at him. Don't worry, we won't have children in the future. Tamdat let out a breath and frowned. Lam Noyetta, I'm also very busy. I don't have time to comfort your erratic temper. I smiled softly and calmly replied, there won't be any more in the future. Tamdat stopped coaxing me and turned back to his room. I walked out of the house with dark circles under my eyes, went straight to Kai Tram's door, and banged on the door loudly. Kai Tram's parents are divorced. He lives alone in a house near the school. As soon as the door opened, I rushed straight into his arms without hesitation. Husband, I want to sleep with you. Oh. He was surprised. His hands were raised as if he didn't know what to do. No, Lam Noyetta, you don't provide this service. Without you, I can't sleep. I hugged him tightly, my voice carrying fatigue and sweetness. Husband, I really want to sleep. He went crazy, muttering and cursing. Sleep, sleep, sleep. So I succeeded. Entering his bedroom, as soon as he laid down on the bed, he hugged the pillow and intended to go to the living room. I quickly pulled his hand back. Where are you going? You can't sleep on the sofa. You have to sleep with me. I held his hand tightly, my tone full of pity. You're not with me. I can't sleep. Husband, in my previous life, Kai Tram was like my teddy bear. With you by my side, I always felt like I slept well and felt extremely secure. I cried and clung to him, refusing to let go. He was so angry that his face turned red and he lay stiffly on the bed. Sleep, sleep. Anyway, it's not me who's going to get killed, he said through gritted teeth. Let me tell you, this guy is a thug. He dares to do anything. His mouth was threatening, but his face turned red. He turned his head away, lying far away from me. I smiled happily, snuggled closer, and hugged him from behind. My hand instinctively slid under him, hugging the blanket, suddenly startled. Sitting up, Lam Noyet was wild. Where are you going to touch? I bowed my head, my voice filled with resentment. Just holding it makes you feel safe. You already feel safe. What about me? He held himself tightly, looking like a pious conservative virgin. There were times when I really wanted to report myself to the police and have myself arrested. Obviously, I like it best when you hold me and sleep naked. He glared, in disbelief. What? When do you like to sleep like that? Since being with you and getting married, K. Tram has started to like sleeping naked. Even forced me to join. He also calls it comfortable touching and hugging. Whatever you say, it's really comfortable. Kai Tram looked at me suspiciously, his mind full of question marks. Lam Noyetta, are you possessed by a demon? Need to suck a man's positive energy to live? So can you let me smoke? His face immediately turned red, and he seriously refused. I don't dream. I told her that he was an exemplary student and absolutely did not fall in love early. But if I can't hug you to sleep, I can't sleep. I pouted, sounding like I was about to cry. Husband, his eyes flashed with struggle. Then just hug, okay? He was crazy but also full of helplessness. Consider it like I'm asking you. I remember very clearly. It took me until I was 25 years old to be with Kai Tram. Who would have known that Kai Tram, both romantic and amorous in adulthood, would be so naive at the age of 18? Really cute to death. 18 years old, an age that is both pure and full of life. The male student is naive yet diligent. Truly the type of person that makes the old ladies fall in love. It's really hard to control. So can I have a look? What are you looking at? He looked like his tail had been stepped on. His ears were red. His eyes were panicked. Lam Noyet Commune, are you still a girl? TCH, you don't understand. Isn't it time for women to be like wolves and tigers at the age of 28? I bit my lip, my voice filled with anger. Husband, it's useless to call Dad. He quickly used the blanket to roll me into a bonchong, then lay down outside, preventing me from moving. Sleep and stop calling me husband. I nodded obediently. Okay, my husband, 3 points. It's not okay. Classmate Kai Tram, familiar flavor, familiar heartbeat. My Kai Tram is back. Looking at him at the age of 18, I softly said, Classmate Kai Tram, I'm not possessed. Actually, I'm from 10 years later. I'm Lam Noyet Commune, 28 years old. Why don't you just say you're a fairy descending to Earth? Seriously, you're actually from 10 years later. He replied in an indifferent voice. Okay, you said you came from Mars. I also believe it. Don't believe it, right? I thought for a moment, then lowered my voice. There's a spot underneath me. He was suddenly startled, his face showing shock. Damned. Lam Noyetta, when did you peak? I smiled slightly. Be next year. He hesitated for a few seconds, then asked again. Are you really from 10 years later? Unable to hide his curiosity, he asked again. So 10 years later, will I win the world championship? Of course. At the age of 20, he became world champion. At the age of 25, he achieved the Grand Slam. No one in the world swam faster than him. Damn, am I that great? He was a little excited and continued. What about you? Did you also become a famous dancer? I bowed my head, my voice a bit low. Of course. Are we married yet? There was a bit of reserve in his voice, mixed with nervousness. Yes, we started loving each other when we graduated from high school. The year I won the world championship, I proposed to you in front of the whole world. His eyes lit up, and he continued asking, So do we have children yet? I smiled and nodded. Yes, after we reached the top of our fields, I announced my retirement at the age of 28. I gradually moved from the stage to the lecture hall. That year, we had a child. I tried to suppress the stinging in my nose. Actually, the year he won the world championship, he didn't propose to me. My life passed in confusion, chaos, and nothing. Lam Noyetta, at the age of 25, was pulled out of the abyss by Tram. But she pulled him down into the dark abyss with her. Luckily, at our 18th year, things still have time to change. This sleep is so refreshing and my mood is much lighter. When I woke up, Kai Tram had gone out to practice early. He has been swimming since he was 7 or 8 years old, for more than 10 years, every day the same, constantly testing his limits. This hardship is truly incomparable compared to the hard nights of studying. When I got to class, I happened to meet the homeroom teacher. Lam Noyetta, it's almost graduation ceremony. How's the training program going? I was stunned for a moment. Before I could react, my table mate spoke first. Miss, Na dances super well. The staging effect for my class's performance is very good. In addition, Tam Dat's solo piano accompaniment will definitely wow the audience. Our class will definitely win the champion award. The teacher nodded with satisfaction. Good. So let's practice more. At this moment, I suddenly remembered that the graduation ceremony was approaching. All female students in the class will perform a group dance performance. The homeroom teacher assigned this responsibility and also said that this was a rare opportunity for the whole class to relax a bit. So everyone went to the dance studio to practice. The program chosen was a classical dance performed by all the girls. Tam Dat will accompany the piano and sing backstage. Since childhood, Tam Dat has played the piano very well and has a very good singing voice. Kwa is just an arts student with a simple mind. I didn't care, I just clapped my hands and smiled faintly. If so, promise, you don't need it anymore. Staring at her, I curled my lips into a sarcastic smile. Anyway, the way he danced was really funny. The whole practice room echoed with loud laughter. Mr. Hua Tin was so angry that he couldn't say a word. Next to him, Tam Dat could no longer stand and watch. Lam Noyet Kamyan, why are you talking so hard to hear? I curled my lips and smiled coldly. Hard to hear? In my previous life, when I broke my leg, she used this same tone to speak to me. Lam Noyet's appearance on the road was really funny. I'm just learning from her. Besides, did she break her leg? Tam Dat's eyes flashed with anger. How long are you guys going to bully Hua Tin? He stood in front of her, loudly declaring. I tell you, if she backs out, I'll back out too. Hua Tin was so touched that her eyes turned red. Tam Dat, I smiled faintly, not caring at all. Then that's great. In my previous life, Hua Tin, because he didn't want me to stand out, intentionally fell right at Tam Dat's feet during a performance. Tam Dat, reflexively, helped her up. The music suddenly stopped, and the whole performance fell into awkward silence. Everyone panicked, couldn't find a rhythm, and their movements became extremely chaotic. However, Tam Dat's instinctive actions when saving Hua Tin were praised by everyone. The two of them were good at studying and were very popular with their teachers. Teachers said that friendship comes first, competition is secondary, and praised Tam Dat's actions as an example worth learning from. They even received a special award. When receiving the award, Hua Tin deliberately turned around and waved at me. Noyet Kamyun, can I trouble you to take a photo for us? The entire audience applauded them enthusiastically. Hua Tin and Tam Dat smiled brightly, while the girls in the class were upset, crying silently behind the scenes. Tam Dat and Hua Tin, after withdrawing from the performance, the whole class was in an awkward situation because they were missing backing vocals. If Noyet Da is not okay, just play the background music, someone suggested helplessly. I waved my hand. It's okay, there's someone who can replace it. In my previous life, when I was severely depressed, Kai Tram often hugged me and sang in my ear. His voice is really good. Later, when my leg recovered, he was the one who encouraged me to regain my passion and step back on stage. I danced, and he was next to me to accompany me on the piano. Without hesitation, I took the phone and called Kai Tram. Classmate Kai Tram, our performance needs you to be the piano accompaniment and lead singer. Before he could think, he exclaimed, this guy doesn't know what to do. I immediately launched the killer move. My husband, my husband, my husband. Shut up, husband, you're wrong. I'm coming right away. I burst out laughing. Looking at that reaction, it's really no different from PAPL's dog. Even though he didn't want to, Kai Tram still rushed at the speed of light. Tam Dat and Hua Tin, when they heard about it, were surprised. I can't believe it. How could Kai Tram replace you and perform? Tam Dat snorted contemptuously. A sports person can't play well. In his eyes, sports and arts people are the way out for poor students. However, those doubts did not dampen the class's enthusiasm. When the night of the show started, the lights were bright. I led the whole class of girls gracefully dancing. Smooth piano sounds and warm vocals resounded. The entire auditorium was stunned, then simultaneously burst into thunderous applause and cheers. It's so amazing. Our class is truly ravishing. No neck, Kai Kui Fai, what else are you hiding from us? Exercise commissioner, why are you swimming? Why don't you just swim? When the performance ended, Kai Tram walked up to me, looking a bit proud. What? Won't make you lose face. Looking at him, my eyes were filled with pink bubbles. Husband, You are the best. He cried out in fear, raising his head. Of course. Our performance received excellent feedback and, as expected, won the championship prize. Kai Tram and I were chosen to be the representatives on stage to receive the award. The principal, with a look of satisfaction on his face, said, "I didn't expect the students of our first high school to be so talented." In previous years, the school often chose students with excellent achievements as speaking representatives. But comprehensive moral, intellectual, physical, and aesthetic development is our direction. I believe that in the future, our students will shine in all fields. He stopped for a moment, his eyes looking towards us. You two, Lam and Gayat and Kai Tram, please speak on behalf of the excellent students. We were briefly surprised by the unexpected proposal. My eyes glanced below the stage. Hua Tin was clutching the prepared speech paper, her face full of unwillingness. Tam Dat's gaze fell on us, his expression complicated. Standing on stage, I took a deep breath and began my speech. Hello everyone, my name is Lam and Gayat Exe. My mother was an excellent classical dancer when she was alive. Under her influence, I stepped on this path at the age of 7. From the first basic training sessions, through many times of falling and then standing up, I never once thought about giving up dancing. Not only did it teach me how to perform beautiful movements, but it also taught me how to perform beautiful movements, but also the lesson of resilience, perseverance, and pursuing my dreams to the end. My dream is to be entered the Beijing Dance Academy and won the championship of Kuali Island. Kai Tram took another step forward, his tall figure became more sturdy. Hello everyone, I'm Kai Tram, an athletic student, passionate about swimming. From the fear and despair of my first near drowning when I was 8 years old, to the feeling of freedom like a fish swimming in water when I was 18 years old. Every day of training is a double challenge for my body and my will. Painful failure and doubt have never made me give up, because I have a dream. He stopped, his expression serious, without any trace of his usual joking, eyes full of determination. My dream is to enter Beijing Sports University to become an Olympic champion. Below the stage, applause rang out like thunder. At 18 years old, unfinished dreams will finally be fulfilled. After receiving the award and stepping off the stage, the girls in the class quickly rushed to hug the trophy to take pictures. Let's find someone to take a group photo for us, one person suggested. I smiled, looked up at Hua Tin, and waved to her. Hua Tin, would you mind taking a photo for us? After all, you're the only one who won't participate. Hua Tin tried to suppress his anger and reluctantly raised the phone. Kai Tram walked quickly towards Tam Dat, giving him the phone with a satisfied smile. Class rep, could you please take a photo for me and my wife? Tam Dat, his face cold, took the phone. Kai Tram then showed me the photo. Are you okay? I glanced and calmly answered. For now. Kai Tram was not embarrassed at all, looking natural. Then trouble the class rep again. My wife won't be very pleased. Tam Dat, finally unable to bear it anymore, shouted loudly at Kai Tram. Kai Tram, who are you? Kai Tram put his arm around my shoulder and smiled brightly. I am the husband of Lam Noyet Commune. What else? Tam Dat's face turned pale, and he gritted his teeth as he looked at him. You're just a sports student, a scoundrel, but are you worthy of Tuda? As for being an Olympic champion, he is truly a daydreamer. I took a step forward, looked straight at Tam Dat, and smiled coldly. Tam Dat in the recent mock exam, if I remember correctly, he ranked 25th in the province. As for Kai Tram's recent performance, do you know? He ranked 2nd in the province and 5th in the country. Obviously, he is the one who is incompetent. How dare you look down on others? I gently pulled the corner of Kai Tram's shirt and turned my head. He walked away side by side. Send me a photo. I want to set it as wallpaper. Kai Tram, smiling lips. Wait, let me edit more. I turned back to look at him, half joking, half serious. You're a man. How can you be whiter than me? Kai Tram shrugged and smiled. It's all caused by the pool water and bleaching powder. After school, on the way home, I was stopped by Tam Dat in the middle of the street. I felt uncomfortable. What do you want to do? He explained. Don't you want to take the entrance exam to Beijing Dance Academy? Go home. I will help you supplement your cultural studies. No need, I replied. In my previous life, when he helped me with my remedial studies, he always seemed extremely impatient. He couldn't understand why I couldn't grasp such simple questions. Every time he helps me, it feels like torture. Regarding the performance at the concert, I was wrong. I apologize. His voice was rarely so gentle, his attitude lowered. Stop being angry, okay? I laughed coldly. Dad, I've never been angry. You don't need to worry about my homework. If you're free, go find Hua Tin to discuss poetry and literature, or study life, or something. Tuda, I don't like Hua Tin. He quickly explained and made a promise. My college aspirations will be in Beijing. After graduation, we will be together, I promise you. I frowned, directly exposing his lie. Didn't you and Hua Tin just apply to a prestigious school abroad? Dad quickly replied. Tuda, I'm just trying. I have no intention of studying abroad. I just find it extremely funny. In his previous life, he also promised to come with me to Beijing. But on the day of my art exam, Hua Tin deliberately told me Dad asked me where I wanted to go to university. I said I wanted to study abroad, so he and I applied to the same school. Didn't he tell you? She showed an arrogant attitude, full of contempt. Lam Noyetta, how long do you want to be involved with him? Obviously he doesn't like you. In this world, only Dad is worthy of me, and only I am worthy of him. That time, because of Hua Tin's provocative words, I did not get into my dream school. In response to my question, Dad only superficially explained that studying abroad has more advantages. He also affirmed that he did not like Hua Tin. He admitted our relationship, gave me the status of his girlfriend, and said that if I just waited a few years for him to graduate, we would get married. I believed him. But when he graduated, he said he wanted to focus on his career first. After that, he and Hua Tin started a business together, seizing a golden opportunity in the industry. Both of their careers skyrocketed. As for me, during those years I only silently performed in the dance troupe, neither standing out nor attracting attention. My teachers always told me I had talent, but my dancing movements had no emotion. Dad and Hua Tin became a golden couple in the eyes of the media. Mon was supportive, and his promise to marry me was delayed time and time again. I glanced at the numbers on the calendar. The university entrance exam date was getting closer and closer. Anyway, Dad is about to go abroad. I have no reason to run after him anymore. In Kai Tram's small room, the two of us, two poor students, were frantically cramming knowledge. Who signed the Magwan Treaty? It's not me who signed it. I know it's not you. Back Min Yun Gu, famous for being the big stick. An iron can't be boiled. I'm tired from studying. Do you want to eat something? Kai Tram asked. Don't be busy all night, but the knowledge doesn't enter your head at all. The next morning, when Kai Tram and I went out, we unexpectedly ran into Dad. Besides him, there were also his parents accompanying him. Their faces were serious, their eyes showing surprise and anger. Dad was the first to question. Tuda, you're not at the school dormitory at all, but have you been at his house these past few days? I didn't deny. That's right. After hearing his parents' words, their faces immediately changed. Tuda, you are a girl. Why are you so shameless? We have always treated you like our own daughter, raised you like a lady since childhood, yet you have degraded yourself to the point of living with a promiscuous person. Come home with us now. I stood there quietly, listening to their scolding. After that, I slightly curled my lips and calmly replied, You too. I am extremely grateful for your care over the years. But I have grown up. I can walk the road ahead on my own. Over the years, raising me has indeed cost you both a lot of money. But the inheritance my parents left behind after their death is still managed by you two on my behalf. The profit from that must be much more than the amount of money to raise me, right? I won't ask for it back, as a reward for raising you. But from now on I won't need to bother you two anymore. After hearing this, both of them immediately became angry. Lam Noyet Commune, do you think we raised you just for your family's money? As expected, it would be different if you weren't biologically related. Raised for many years, you turned out to be a wolf dressed in white. Even though you weren't smart, we never criticized you, always treated you as a future daughter-in-law, yet you repay us like this? Under the golden stream, not only images of the past flashed through my mind, when I naively believed their words, then immersed myself in their coldness and tried desperately to struggle. In this life, I will absolutely not let others torment me. You all consider me as your biological daughter, recognize me as your future daughter-in-law. In my past life, everyone was immersed in the sweetness between Dad and Hua Tin. No one knew of my existence, his official girlfriend. I unwillingly posted online, revealing the relationship between me and Tamdat. Tamdat's parents angrily questioned me. Lam Noyet, do you know that doing so will ruin Tamdat's image? Is it impacting on its career? Baby, she affectionately called Dat brother. In the blink of an eye, my name was all over the tabloids. Wedging since childhood, in what era would we still force marriage like that? People raised her, but they turned around and bit back, truly an ungrateful person. I heard that when she was in school, she was a scoundrel and a bully. Huatin wanted to be famous so much that she was crazy. It sounds like she was just a dancer that no one knew about. Is dancing a provocative dance? Looking at her face, she knew how to edit it. Huatin's noble charisma completely crushed her. Oh, during that time, I was exposed to private life, suffered cyber violence, and was abused by the whole world. And all of this is thanks to their efforts. Therefore, in this life, I absolutely will not repeat the same mistakes. Lam Noyet Commune. If you regret it later, don't come crying to us, Mrs. Tam angrily threw back this sentence, as if she was certain that I would have a pathetic life. Tamdat stood next to me, surprised by my behavior and words, then angrily questioned, Tuda, how can you talk to my parents like that? Do you still have any conscience? I slightly curled my lips, my eyes were cold, and I smiled faintly. No, I am an ungrateful person. I hope you will forgive me. Tamdat's parents pulled him away, not forgetting to remind their son. Let's go home. Don't have anything to do with him in the future. I stood quietly in place for a long time, so long that before I could react, I was suddenly hugged by Kai Tram. He asked softly, his low voice rang in his ear. Lam Noyetta, did you lie to me? Did you live an unhappy life in your previous life? I blinked slightly, my eyelids trembled, my nose suddenly felt stinging. Actually, we didn't have to be together until after graduating from high school. I ran after you for many years, but in the end I only received injuries all over myself. At the age of 25, I suffered from severe depression to the point of wanting to kill myself. Accidentally fell off the stage again. Then he appeared. Lam Noyet Commune. I am now the world champion. I will help you regain your honor. Marry me. I will make you the happiest woman in the world, angering that couple. The day we registered our marriage, I publicly announced to the media, this is my wife, the girl I have secretly loved for many years. Many people scolded him for being blind and continuously unfollowed him, but he didn't pay any attention. He said, athletes only use achievements to speak up. He took me everywhere, found a doctor to treat my legs, and worked with me on rehabilitation. When I was worried and insecure, he played the piano and sang for me. You hugged me to sleep, becoming my only sedative. As the days passed, I gradually recovered and finally returned to the stage. I tightened my arms and put my head close to his ear. The voice was gentle. The days I spent with you were the happiest times of my life. Kai Tram quietly patted my back, but he still arrived too late. Leaning on his lap, I tried not to let him see my teary eyes. I didn't tell him that actually, we wouldn't be happy together forever. Kai Tram married me at the peak of his career. At that time, he completed the Grand Slam, becoming a national hero. But an athlete's peak period is only a few years short. No one can stay undefeated forever. Everyone's expectations for him were so great that if he only won second place, they would scold him that he was distracted because of me. Until one match, he was injured beforehand and unfortunately had a high fever right before the match. I felt extremely sad and firmly wanted him to withdraw from the competition. But at that moment, a hysterical fan held a knife and rushed towards me, constantly shouting, "It's all your fault that he dropped." Kai Tram unconsciously rushed to block me. Nearing the university entrance exam, Kai Tram and I had to diligently supplement our cultural subjects while also frantically practicing our professional skills. Fortunately, in the latest competition, Kai Tram won the provincial championship. I put all my spirit into the art exam. On the day of the competition, I took his gold medal and frantically tried to pray for luck. Thanks to the gold medal, I improved steadily throughout the entire exam. I didn't expect that I would win first place in the art competition. As soon as I walked out of the exam room, I originally intended to give him a big hug, but I didn't expect to accidentally meet the male god I admire in real life. He was highly educated, more handsome than imagined, and even took the initiative to greet me. "Hello, You just danced very well. I was so happy that I immediately ordered Kai Tram to take a photo for me and the male god. The male god looked at Kai Tram's distant face and asked curiously, "Is he your classmate?" On the way home, there was someone who looked like a resentful wife. "Who is your classmate? Why can't you call me your husband anymore? If you do, you'll stop loving me, right?" I shut up. Am I just the third wheel? Am I just a joke? Don't force me to kiss you right in front of this crowd. He immediately shut his face. I secretly poked his hip. "When can I kiss you?" His face was red. Wait until there's no one." Not long after, university entrance exam scores were announced, and Kai Tram and I both scored above the standard. Both received acceptance letters from their dream school. What I didn't expect was that Tam would not study abroad. Instead, he and Hua Tin both passed the entrance exam to the same university in Beijing. The combination of genius and genius, coming from the same class, continues to cause a stir at school. They still regularly participate in competitions together and win prizes. On the school forum, someone posted a photo of the two and exclaimed that they were truly a match made in heaven. In response to everyone's rumors, Tam directly denied, "Just a classmate. I already have someone I like." Later, someone discovered that he really seemed to have someone in his heart. He likes to watch classical dance performances. Every time he goes, he carries a bouquet of sunflowers. Someone guessed that it was for the girl he liked. At that time, we were sophomores. Thanks to his excellent achievements, Kai Tram was selected for the national team. As for me, thanks to being a replacement dancer in a famous TV series, I became an internet phenomenon overnight. Netizens were full of praise. Lam Noyet Da's dancing is breathtakingly beautiful, as expected of being the valedictorian of arts that year. This girl's face and figure are perfect. Aren't you considering joining SB? I heard she has a performance coming up and has to stay up all night to compete for tickets. Theater shows are always sold out. Then, someone realized that, in the front row of every show, there was always a guy holding a bouquet of sunflowers, quietly watching the stage. Later, I don't know where the rumor came from that this guy was an excellent student at a prestigious school and was also my childhood sweetheart. Netizens began to frantically push our boat. At this time, Huatin posted a photo of herself and Tam in a competition, with the words, "The person who understands me best." Only this time, she received all the criticism. "No, sister, Tam has already denied it. They're just classmates. Why are you trying to gain fame? You really want to get famous, right?" When Huatin was in school, thanks to her high grades, she looked down on others. Everyone is upset with her. What does someone else's childhood love have to do with you? Who gave you the confidence to think that Tam would like you? Just look clearly at Lam Noyet Da's evil mind, figure, beauty, and temperament. The rumors on the internet are so hot that it's unbelievable. Tam parents even received an interview from the media declaring, "Noyet Da, that is our daughter-in-law. She and Tu have been childhood sweethearts since childhood and had planned to get married. After Noyet Da's parents passed away, we took her home to raise her. She learned to dance, and we loved her like our own daughter." Looking at the completely different attitudes of the couple, I just felt funny. I refused all their calls to make up, turned around, and posted the contract drawn up by the lawyer that year. It clearly states the amount of money they have earned from my family's assets over the years. I thought these two people were very kind, but it turned out they were swallowing their entire family's property. People start learning to dance at the age of 7. How can they be raised by you and suck their blood, but still demand their gratitude and not feel humiliated? Many journalists constantly asked me about my relationship with Tam. I heard that you and Tam are childhood sweethearts. I thought for a moment. Same village. No God. After that, I posted a post on Weibo, tagging Kai Tram. "This is my not yet legal husband." In the blink of an eye, Kai Tram's account increased in followers rapidly. Oh my God, it was indeed chosen by Noyet Da. This handsome man can only be handed over to the country. Tall figure, long legs. I don't dare to imagine how comfortable it will be to lie down there. What kind of heaven-sent couple is this? I pushed the boat vigorously. That night, I slept on his abs, extremely happy. Someone who is no longer a teenager who easily blushes every time he is touched. Techniques are extremely diverse, and they are also very dedicated. I gradually couldn't stand it anymore. After swimming 3,000 m, why does he still have so much energy? Go to sleep. Go to sleep. I'm about to die of fatigue, I shouted in protest, holding his playful hand tightly. Put my shirt back on now. He skillfully slipped past, his voice low and hoarse. Wife, how can you call yourself sleeping wearing clothes like this? After the performance, I saw Tamdad again. This person is really bad. Back then, when I chased him, he didn't pay any attention. Now that I stay away, he's like a stray dog that clings and won't let go. He was holding a bouquet of flowers. His expression looked somber. Tuda, I understand. I've done many things in the past that have hurt you, but I've really liked you for all these years. I always thought you would come back to look at me once. He bowed his head. His voice was hoarse. His eyes were red. I don't understand why you suddenly don't care about me anymore. I took a deep breath, trying to stay calm, but the memories of my previous life were like a desperate dream. Tamdad, I dreamed a dream. After graduating, you left me behind and went to study abroad with Hua Tin. You said that when you graduate, we will get married. I waited and waited, and when you graduated, you said that you needed a career to marry me. Tell me to wait more. After that, you and Hua Tin started a business together. The two of you were together every day, understanding each other, becoming a golden couple in everyone's eyes. Know who knows I'm your girlfriend. At that time, I begged him, asked him to come see my show. Even if it's just once, if I give you a flower, I will forgive you. But he never came once. He was stunned in disbelief. I looked at him, smiling. Unfortunately, he said that such a small stage is not worth seeing. Did you even tell me how busy you are? That's right. He was busy dating Hua Tin, busy ringing the bell with her on the NASD floor, traveling together, and meeting both of their families. I've been waiting for you for so many years. I'm not willing. But so what? Everyone thinks I'm an evil person meddling in your affairs. Actually, I have been sick for a long time. In the end, I went crazy, did stupid things many times, faced my moral constraints. He felt annoyed and said that wouldn't it be okay to marry me? But right before the wedding, Hua Tin sent me her pregnancy report. And I, in a panic, fell from the stage, becoming a disabled person. I closed my eyes, my throat choked. In the end, his parents gave me a sum of money and told me to live and die on my own. He was stunned and hastily explained. Older brother? How can you do that? I'm not that kind of person. Tuda, I told you, I will always protect you. It was just a dream. I coldly shook my head. No, Tamdad, I'm not smart, but I'm not stupid either. I looked straight at him. Do you really like me? No, I just don't want to. He's so smart that he knows what I like, knows what I'm unhappy about, and knows how to comfort me, but he deliberately doesn't do it so that I have to suffer pain over and over again. He only enjoys my admiration and Hua Tin's respect. Whatever you want, take away your cheap love. I don't need it, and you don't deserve it either. After joining the national team, Kai Tram began participating in international tournaments. He continuously broke his own records. The whole world witnessed his aura. As for me, after gaining some reputation, I focused all my efforts on preparing for the Quat Dao Lai contest. Quail Dao Lai is the most prestigious award in the dance world. The biggest regret in my mother's life is never winning a championship. I promised myself that I would definitely do my best to make up for that regret for her. Kai Tram and I say we love each other, but we see each other very little. When we are rarely together, we go on dates near school. Just walked a few steps when suddenly a car came straight from the turn. Kai Tram reacted almost immediately, pushing me behind him. There was a loud bang, and they both fell to the ground. Memories of him covered in blood in my previous life continuously appeared in my mind. My heart felt like it was being squeezed by an invisible hand. My whole body trembled, and I screamed hoarsely. Call his name, Kai Tram, wife. I'm okay, I'm really okay. He awkwardly comforted me. Don't cry, don't cry. Just a little scratch, it's okay. Tears welled up in my eyes, trembling as they touched his face, choking without words. Idiot, you scare me to death. Don't die, you won't die. I hugged him tightly. From now on, you're not allowed to get hurt. You're not allowed to bleed. You're not allowed to stand in front of me anymore. He kept nodding. Okay. But I know, no matter how many times I turn back in that dangerous moment, he will still instinctively protect me. After a while, we calmed down. Only then did I discover that the person in the car was Hua Tin. Lam Noyet Wild, are you still not dead? She stared at me, her face pale, her eyes lifeless. But her face has completely changed, very fake. This is a trace of cosmetic surgery. Before that, there was a rumor that Hua Tin crazy edited my face without paying attention, but it turned out to be true. An old classmate once told a story that she confessed her love to Tamdat. Tamdat flatly refused and said her actions were low on her self-worth. Hua Tin was not satisfied and asked why. Tamdat frowned and replied, "There are many things. Look in the mirror a lot. Maybe you will have the answer." At that time, many people online scolded her for being a bad person and a bad person. She started having cosmetic surgery, and the more she did it, the more dissatisfied she became with her face. It is said that her family background is not rich. After that, she started taking out loans online. Education was interrupted. Many schools also issued sanctions. In the end, when she couldn't repay her debt, she even became the mistress of a middle-aged boss. Hua Tin stared at me like a crazy person, screaming hoarsely, "It's all because of you. My whole life has been ruined by you. Lam Noyet, why are you loved by everyone, while I can only live in the dark? Obviously, I'm much better than you." I smiled calmly. Maybe it's retribution. Looking at the once arrogant girl, now falling miserably in front of him. I was silent for a moment, then spoke. "Call the police." The year I graduated from university, my efforts did not disappoint. I won the Quat Dao Lai Championship. As soon as I stepped off the stage, I saw a person holding a bouquet of fresh flowers and waving his hands. I happily jumped into his arms. "Do you dance well?" "Deadly beautiful like love." He looked at me, his eyes like a questioning maniac. "The Lord King understands. The Lord King becomes the Master King." That same year, Kai Tram represented the country at the Olympics. At 22 years old, he plunged into the water with extraordinary speed and energy, leaving the world record behind, once again surpassing himself. During the awards ceremony, when he raised his head to look at the national flag, the stars slowly rose, his eyes were red. When interviewed by a national reporter, he couldn't help but burst into tears. "Thank you, country. Thank you, coach. Thank you. Thank you, my wife." His voice was choked. Tears fell. The more he cried, the more emotional he became. In the end, the reporters had to lean over and comfort him. At this moment, as if remembering something, he awkwardly pulled out a diamond ring from his pocket, his hands shaking, tears still falling. The reporter didn't know what to do, looked at me with helplessness, and hurriedly spoke. "Hurry up and agree. Otherwise we won't be able to convince him." I looked at this man causing a commotion, crying without tears, unable to even laugh. I quickly walked over, hugged him, and put the ring on my finger. Okay, I agree with you." After a while, he blushed and asked me, "Wife, did I embarrass you just now?" I sighed. "Well, it's not that bad." He raised his hands in assurance. Next time I will definitely not cry anymore." I remained silent, rolling my eyes at him. "Say that every time. Every time I cry like rain. Half the swimming pool is full of your tears. What else?" In the years that followed, Kai Tram represented the country and won one glory after another. As for me, thanks to my own efforts, I also stepped onto bigger stages. At the age of 28, Kai Tram no longer had the strength to swim, carrying on an honorable career. He retired. As for me, I also gave up the stage to the younger dancers and returned to the lecture hall to become a teacher. That year, we started planning to have a baby. I asked him worriedly, "Tell me, is our child too stupid?" He replied, "If it is good, it will repay the country. If it's normal, it will be there to make its parents happy. We never had a perfect family or love. We will use the way we loved ourselves as children to raise our children." 10 years after graduation, we were invited back to school to attend the celebration as distinguished alumni. Also accompanying were some old classmates. Suddenly someone mentioned it. "Do you know anything about Tamdat? Looks like his house is bankrupt." It is said that when he first graduated, he invested in real estate construction and made a lot of money, but then the real estate industry went downhill, the capital flow was cut off, and other investment warehouses also suffered heavy losses. Now the company is bankrupt and is still being forced to execute the judgment. Hearing that, I was stunned, feeling that this name was strange. Someone suddenly turned to ask, You liked him back then, right?" I shook my head frantically. "There is no such thing. The story ends here. Thank you for following. Don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to hear more stories.